Hello and welcome. So, what I plan on doing today is continue on the row by row kind of instructions for this first section. We are currently going to start row 4. The plan would be for a Monday to do at least 3 rows. If you could squeeze out more than that, that's perfectly fine, and be able to finish the first section of 13 rows by Wednesday, the 4th. That's just to kind of keep on schedule. Obviously, everybody's a little bit different as far as the speed goes. So, what I wanted to do mainly is just kind of give some inspiration, some motivation for Mondays. I know start of the week it's always hard. You got work, you got schedule, you got life. Trying to squeeze in a row or two can be hard. So I think the best way to motivate and keep going is to see progress. So if you see the piece coming together, if you see photos online, share them, show me your progress, like and comment on others' progress, and keep the momentum up. So that's the plan for Motivational Mondays. Right now, I'm just going to continue on to row 4 and kind of show kind of rows 4, 5, 6 into the patterns. You'll see on the um, progress tracker here, we're up here in row 4. So we're going to continue with on the small block of, we're going to do 3 of the dark pink, looks like 7 of the light, and 3. And then the pattern would go on to the larger blocks where we're going to do 6 of the light, and then 3, 6, 9, 12, so 13 of the dark red. So you can kind of see that, every time we increase 2 on each side for the large block and 1 on each side for the small block. So hopefully that helps a little bit visualize. If you don't like counting, we can go from there. So let's grab the piece, pull up the yarn. Also, if you do have a special setup as far as where to put the yarn, I kind of swap back and forth sometimes, whether I have it in the yarn bag or kind of right now I have it just above me um, right now. So I'll probably later pull it into a yarn bag. I have to actually organize some stuff. So that's why it's not done yet. Awesome. But I think, yeah, some people will have like a cardboard box and then they'll put some small holes in the side. That's where the yarn comes through. And that just kind of helps it, not roll around, especially if you're pulling from the outside. Um, Keep it organized a little bit, if you do have pets or children. Hopefully, a box is somewhat of a boundary to kind of keep them from messing too much with it. But definitely, if you have kind of a special case, share that with us. I think ideas are always good. New ideas, I've seen some special, interesting setups, definitely. Start with getting row 4 done. And hopefully also kind of share, hey, do you have a TV show, or, music that you listen to? Do you audiobooks, something interesting just to have in the background while you're working on the piece? What's your favorite thing to do while you crochet? Sometimes I'll have a YouTube video up on something completely non-crochet related. Um, I'm trying to teach myself how to sew, so I have some sewing tutorials, looking at all the pieces that I would love to make eventually. And just seeing how they're put together that way, just kind of to keep the creative mind going. I try to do audiobooks. Sometimes it's hard if you're counting. And obviously with TV, if you're counting rows, that's really just noise in the background. Um, so I find it hard unless it's like a old TV show that I kind of know what's going on, that I've seen before, but want to do the watch again for either nostalgia or to have some noise in the background, something like that. This bright red is so funny on camera. It just blows it out. I'll add two more than the row below it. Switch to pink. Then we're going to grab that peach. Okay, so I think from here I'm just going to kind of continue row 4 all the way down to the end of the row. I'll probably do a photo of the end result and try to do almost like a progression photo like I did with the dragon. See if people like that. I'll have an update kind of where I'm at in the project. Definitely encourage everybody to share where they're at, share your ideas, questions, keep the conversation going. Let's motivate each other and see what we got. I'll see you in a minute. All right, so we just got done with row 4, so you can kind of see the pattern here of the small sections or small blocks, I like to call them. I try to do sections are the width, and then the number of rows would be blocks. So the small block that we have, as well as the large, you can kind of see we're building all the way out. So now when we enter step 5, so I'll move the tracker up 1, scooch this over to the beginning. So now, as we keep going on row 5, so we'll start with, again, we're decreasing the number of the dark pink down by 1 on each side. So I'll have a larger section of the light pink. And similarly, as we get into the red, we're down to 4, and then the strip of red, and then another 4 of the light pink on the other side. So let's go ahead and get started on row 5, and we'll keep going and let this pattern build on itself. Please note it's not going to be until the next row on row 6 where things get a little bit more changed up. So let's do row 5. We'll grab the yarn real quick. All I do here is line them up, kind of untangle as I go, and then make sure I do have them lined up right before I attach the yarn. I'll try not to have so much yarn in view of the camera. We'll see. We'll find that first stitch. Always important to not lose that first stitch. It's usually pretty easy to find, but every now and then it'll get a little squirrely. If there's, like if it's extra tight or something, it might be hard. So, all right. So we're gonna grab dark pink, lock it in, find that first stitch again. It's definitely tight once you add all the colors in there. So just be careful. Otherwise, you're gonna be off by 1. So we'll do that. We'll do 1 and 2. Swap to light pink. So we'll do 9 of the light pink if you do prefer to count. And then 2 of the dark to finish that block. Good tracker over. So we'll do 4 of the light pink. And then let's see, 3, 6, 9, 12, 17. So yep, 17 of the red. Trying to make sure that the numbers I give add up to 25. So 4, of the light. We're going to do 17 of the red, or we'll just make sure we add 2 from the previous row on each side. And then for the light pink. I'm just going to swap to the peach because I know that's going to be the next color. So that is the start of row 5. And for the first 2 blocks of what that looks like, I'm going to continue with row 5, get to the very end. Again, row 6 is when it starts getting interesting, so I'll probably do a longer video on row 6, just so you can see kind of how the pattern goes, and we'll go from there. Show me your progress, and just keep motivated. I know the beginning is always the roughest part. Thank you.